Hello, I am Sagar Kondekar, working with the School of Social Sciences, SRTM University Subcampus Latur. Objective of this short video is to make you familiar with the two terminologies. They are data and variable. These two terminologies we use in the social sciences research and the research in the commerce and management discipline. So let's start. First of all, I'll put forward some of the questions. Question number 1 is, what comes first? Whether the data comes first in the research, or the variable comes first in the research, or the statistics come first in the research. So please be ready with your own answer. I'll come to the answer of question number 1, but let me put question number 2 here. Question number 2, what is the meaning of variable, the meaning of data, and meaning of statistics? So let's see first the meaning of these three terms. Variable is a characteristic of an item or individual or an object. For example, name, height, weight of respondent, eye color of the respondent, marital status, income, and many more. It depends on your research objective and how you identify your variable. Now, if I will come to the meaning of the data, data is the set of individual values associated with the variable. Data is made of the variable. Again, I repeat, data is made of the different variables. Now, I will come to the meaning of the statistics. Statistics, it is the method that helps us to transform data into useful information for decision making. Fine. Now, I will come to the question number 1. What comes first? So, according to me, and so far this presentation is concerned, the first comes is the variable. First, we decide the variable, first we identify the variable, first we determine the variable, then we go to the field and we gather the information. All together, after the gathering that information, it leads to the data. Once the data is there in our hand, then we go for the statistical treatment. So in that sense, I would say the variable comes first, then the data, and then the statistical treatment. Now, if I'll go further and if I ask you a question, what are the different types of the data? Many times different persons name it differently. For example, someone can say primary and secondary data, someone can say qualitative, quantitative data, discrete and continuous data, categorical and non-categorical data, time series, cross section, panel data, and many more. Different persons name it differently according to the characteristics of the data they do have. However, if I go further, then again a new question, what are the different types of the variable? Because whatever are the types of the data is made of the variables. For this question too, there will be different responses. For example, someone can say categorical and numeric variables, numeric and non-numeric, discrete and continuous variable, qualitative, quantitative variable, dependent and independent variable, and etc. So different people may name it differently. Fine. Now, if I'll go further and I'll see that the classification of data and the classification of the variable, what is the ground for such classification? That ground is common, that ground is homogeneous, it is unique. It means that there are only 4 different measurement of the scale on which we classify the variable and we classify the data. Those 4 measurement of the scale are nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and the ratio scale. The meaning of all these scales that we are going to see soon. Before that, if I will go further to the further slide, here if you will go to the any software, SPSS, EView, Stata, R, or simply if you go to the MS Excel too, they will identify only 3 different measurement of the scale. The first, they will identify the nominal variable, they will identify the ordinal variable, and they will identify only the scale. Now, what is this scale? Scale is whatever classification we have made here, the 4 different types of the measurement of scale. From that, interval and ratio all together, all the software consider them as a scale data or the scale variable or the scale measurement. Fine. So, so far the different softwares are concerned, they consider only three different measurement of the scale. First is the nominal, second is the ordinal, third is the scale. Fine. So considering all these measurement of the scale, they leads to the type of the variable. The type of the variable leads to the type of the data, and type of the data leads to the different statistical treatment. Fine. Now if I will go further, can we use a different or any particular statistical tool or the technique for each one of these scales? Can we use the same statistical technique for the nominal, at the same time for the ordinal, and for the same at the same time for the scale, is a question. So answer to this question is no, we cannot do that. We cannot use a same statistical technique to the nominal, ordinal and scale. It depends on the condition that time, or the type of your data, that we are going to see with one of the example in the further slides. Fine. Now let me explain you the meaning of these measurement of the scale. The first scale is the nominal scale. It is qualitative. Fine. Here you can see that one image is there. This is one family. Fine. In the family, if I ask a question to each one of the member that what is your gender, the response to this question will be either male or female, and we also make the third part, that is transgender. But so far this family is concerned, we can say that there are only two type of the genders, and they will respond like either they are male or female. Fine. Once they responded, we'll have to give codes to them. What does that mean? What is the codes? Codes means if she is a female, then we'll give code that 1. If he responded that he is male, so I'll give code 2 to male. So here again for him 2 is the code, for her the 1 is the code, for her 1 is the code, for him 2 is the code, and for him 2 is the code. So codes means the numbers that we allot to the attributes. But when we are allotting the numbers to these attributes, it doesn't have any significance. Means here in this case it is not like that 2 is more than 1 or 1 is less than 2. One can give 1 to male and 2 to female. It depends. However, all these cases are mutually exclusive. Here are some of the examples that I have already quoted. Now I will go to the ordinal scale. What is the ordinal scale? Ordinal scale carries the characteristics of the nominal scale, plus it has additionally the ranking or the orders. For example, if I conduct a game, or if I conduct a running competition for this family, and in this competition, suppose she came first, he came second, he came third, she came fourth, fifth, sixth, that. Now she is first, he is second. The difference between these two, suppose whatever the timing she consumed to reach to the final line is different than the timing he has taken to reach to that line, than the timing he has taken to reach to the final line. So there is unknown distance between the two ranks. The other example is, here I have given the Likert scale. Suppose there is one question like whether the India will find the medicine on the COVID-19, what is your opinion? Then someone can say strongly agree, someone can say agree, neutral, depends. Now the difference or the distance between these two, strongly agree and agree, for me can be different, and the distance between these two opinions for you can be different. So that is the ordinal scale. Now I will come to the further slide. Interval scale. What is the interval scale? Interval scale is the numeric scale. This is very interesting. Interval scale are the numeric, they are in the numbers. They do have fixed interval, and 0 is arbitrary. There is no meaning to the 0. For example, if I ask what is your height, or if I measure the blood pressure of each of the family member, if I measure the sugar level of each of the family member, there will be no as such zero hemoglobin level or the zero blood pressure for the living entity. Some blood pressure will be there, some sugar level will be there, some height will exist there in this family. Fine. So there will be no true 0 for the interval scale, and the important thing is that there are fixed intervals between the two numbers. Fine. Now if I'll go to the further slide, ratio scale carries all the characteristics of the interval scale, plus it has meaning to the 0. For example, if I conduct some test for these family members and they scored differently, someone has scored 70, someone has scored 80, 90, but someone has scored 0 marks means no marks, or so far the income is concerned, 0 income means there is no income. So in that way the ratio scale goes. I have purposefully considered the same set of the respondent to understand in better way that how the nominal is different than the ordinal, and how ordinal is different than the interval and the ratio scale. Fine. Now here is a summary table in which there are different types of the scale, and here are the meaning, and here is the example that I have explained here in the summary table that you can read. Now if I'll come further, as we have seen, there are different 4 types of the measurement scale: nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio scale. I classify it into again 2 parts. One is qualitative data, that is nominal and ordinal scale, they are considered into the qualitative data, and interval and ratio scale, they belongs to the quantitative data. Now as I move from left to right, it increases the ability to use higher level statistical analysis. Again I repeat, as I move from the nominal towards the ratio data, it increases the ability to use higher level statistical analysis. Fine. Now here is one example that here is the MS Excel sheet, and in this MS Excel sheet I have considered 4 variables. The first is the gender, which is nominal, satisfaction, that is ordinal, third is the hemoglobin level and the marks, that is the scale data, one is the interval and the other is the ratio. Now if I'll go to the statistical treatment, and if I proceed it through statistical treatment, and if I get some outcome like this, now how to interpret this? So far the gender is concerned. In the gender, if you will see that the mean gender is 1.4. What does that mean? Does that mean that the respondent, whatever the information I collected, the average respondent is neither male nor female, because one is the male and 2 is female, or 1 is female and 2 is male. In that sense 1.4, it doesn't make any sense. We cannot give meaning to this arithmetic mean, that is a statistical tool or the technique or one measurement. From central tendency, yes, here in the mode we can say that fine, the mode is 1. It means that out of my respondent, the majority of the respondents are the male, but we cannot say that 1.4, we cannot give meaning to this 1.4, but we can give meaning to the mode. Likewise, we cannot give meaning to the standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, no, nothing. We only can use mode. If I will come to the ordinal data in a satisfaction, again if my mean is 2.9, say that 1 is highly satisfied, 2 is satisfied, 3 is that is fine, fine, the 4th is poor satisfaction, and 5th is the extremely unsatisfied. Fine. When I am coming to the mean 2.9, I cannot give meaning to this. Fine. But if I will come to the median, what does that mean? Median means whatever are the respondents with me, a respondent who is in the mid of the data, his opinion is that that is fine. So far the satisfaction is considered or concerned, that's fine, okay, not so good, not so bad. Here if we will come to the mode, majority of the people, they commented that so far the satisfaction is concerned, that's fine, no, that is neither very good, better, or neither very poor. In that sense, at least we can give some meaning here to the median and mode. Again, so far the standard deviation is concerned, or the sample variance, all this we cannot give meaning to this. Now if I will come to the hemoglobin level, mean hemoglobin level is 12.5. fine, I can give meaning to that. Median is 13, Majority of the respondent they are having 13 as a hemoglobin level. Fine. The standard deviation average means each respondent is averagely far from 1.84 hemoglobin level, far from the mean. That in that way we can explain all this. Minimum somebody is there who is having the least hemoglobin level, and that hemoglobin level is the 9, maximum that is 15. Fine. In that way we can explain the descriptive statistics. Marks, average marks are 63.9, median is 66, mode is 58. We can give meaning here so far the scale data is concerned. So if we'll observe here, so far the nominal data is concerned and ordinal data is concerned, we cannot go with lot of statistical techniques. There will be some limitations. Fine. But if we are having the scale data, then we can use different and many statistical techniques. Fine. Now I will go to the further slide. In the next slide, this slide or earlier we have seen there are 3 different measurement scales and statistical treatment, and we have seen the example that we cannot treat each and every variable with different measurement of the scale with the same or the unique statistical treatment. Fine. Now I will come to the further slide. Here is in a very brief table which explains us that how or which statistical treatment we can give to the nominal and ordinal data. Here you can see that in the descriptive statistics we can only use percentage and mode, percentage, mode and median. Fine. And the inferential statistics, there are few which we can apply to the nominal and ordinal data. Whereas in the interval and ratio scale, if you will see, there are many more statistical techniques or the tools which we can apply towards the interval and the ratio scale. Fine. Now if I will come to the last slide of this presentation, there are 4 important note for you. We cannot apply all the statistics to any type of the data. Always identify the type of variables data you have. Use appropriate statistical treatment through MS Excel or any software. And finally, the most important, interpretation part is very important. See, processing is very easy. You are having data, you will have to just click on the buttons. It will give you some result, but to give meaning to that result is the difficult part. So interpretation part is very important. However, I hope that I could reach to you. We'll stop here, and in upcoming short videos we'll go for the meaning to the different statistical tools, techniques, and the way we can conduct the statistical treatment using different softwares. Thank you.